In an intense clash that no one saw coming, Argentina, the giants of South American football, fell to who? Uruguay. And not just any win, this was a tactical masterclass, a headline stealer, a global trend. Why is everyone talking about this match? Because it wasn't just football, it was pride, pressure, and the rise of a new force. Argentina versus Uruguay, a rivalry deeply rooted in football history, met once again. But this time, the spotlight wasn't on the men's game or Messi's magic. This time, it was a match that shook the internet, shifted narratives, and sent a powerful message across continents. The game began with Argentina carrying the weight of expectation, ranked higher, backed by more experience, and boasting a squad filled with star power. They walked into the stadium with confidence. Fans across the globe expected a routine win. The bookmakers had them as clear favorites. The media already framed it as a warm-up for Argentina's World Cup campaign. But football doesn't follow scripts. From the opening whistle, Uruguay came in with fire in their eyes. No fear, no hesitation, just raw intensity. They pressed high, they closed space, they made Argentina uncomfortable. And before Argentina could even find their rhythm, Uruguay struck. A beautiful sequence of play down the right flank, one touch, two touch, a sharp cross, and boom. Goal. Uruguay takes the lead. The stadium gasps. The internet lights up. Argentina looks stunned. It wasn't just the scoreline, it was how quickly Uruguay had flipped the script. Suddenly the game had changed, and so had the energy of millions watching. But Uruguay wasn't done. They kept attacking. Their midfield dominated possession, and their defenders stood tall every time Argentina pushed forward. Then came the second blow, a long-range rocket that silenced even the most passionate Argentine fans. 2-0, Uruguay. And just like that, what was supposed to be a walk in the park turned into a full-blown nightmare for Argentina. Social media exploded. On Twitter, memes flooded timelines. On YouTube, creators were uploading reaction videos within minutes. Is this the end of Argentina's dominance? Uruguay's youth just schooled a giant. Google searches for Argentina versus Uruguay upset hit an all-time high, and the world watched not just for the goals, but for the story unfolding, because this wasn't just about one team beating another. This was the underdog rising, the overlooked nation making a statement, the perfect storm of talent, belief, and execution. And at the heart of it all, Uruguay's young stars. Valentina Lopez, just 22 years old, played like a seasoned general in midfield. Her control, vision, and leadership on the pitch were nothing short of inspirational. Every pass she made was purposeful. Every tackle had meaning. Next to her, Martinez and Silva ran riot down the flanks. They toyed with Argentina's fullbacks, outpaced them, outsmarted them, outplayed them. These weren't household names, but they might be soon. Meanwhile, Argentina struggled. Their midfield looked disconnected. Their captain, usually the calming presence, appeared frustrated and isolated. There was no chemistry, no urgency, just flashes of individual brilliance that weren't enough to break Uruguay's shape. At halftime, fans waited for a comeback, but Uruguay didn't allow it. They returned just as aggressive, just as composed, and just as dangerous. They absorbed pressure, they countered quickly, and most importantly, they stayed confident. It's rare to see a team play with this kind of maturity, especially under the pressure of representing a smaller football nation against a regional powerhouse. But Uruguay didn't play the occasion. They played the game, and they played it better. By the final whistle, there was no doubt who deserved to win. No fluke, no luck, just dominance. The final scoreline, 2-0 Uruguay. But the impact, much bigger. News outlets began shifting their headlines. Argentina's defeat wasn't just a loss, it was a moment, a reminder that football is evolving, that dominance can fade, that new empires can rise from where least expected. And while Argentina's staff and players tried to make sense of what went wrong, Uruguay was celebrating, not just the result, but what it symbolized. Because in that one match, a message was sent to the entire continent. Uruguay is not here to participate, they're here to compete, they're here to win, they're here to challenge everything you thought you knew about South American football. And the fans felt it. You could see it in the eyes of the kids watching at home. You could hear it in the chants echoing across Montevideo. You could feel it in the millions of shares, likes, and comments flooding the internet. This match went beyond 90 minutes. It created belief, it sparked conversation, it inspired a new generation of footballers who now know that giants can bleed, that with heart, preparation, and unity, you can shake the world. So what happens now? For Uruguay, this victory boosts their momentum heading into the World Cup qualifiers. They've shown the world they can take on the best and beat them. That confidence is priceless. Their players will return to training with heads held high, knowing they've earned global respect. For Argentina, it's a wake-up call. They'll go back to the drawing board. They'll analyze the breakdowns, the missteps, the energy gap. They know that if they want to dominate again, they must evolve. And for us, the fans, this was a reminder of why we love football. Because it's unpredictable, because it's emotional, because moments like this remind us that in football, anything is possible. So what do you think? Was this the biggest upset of the year? Is Uruguay about to become the next big football story? Let me know in the comments. I read every single one. And if you love content that dives deeper into the emotion, the strategy, the moments that matter, then hit that subscribe button, because this is just the beginning. Next up, we're exploring the rise of another footballing nation that's turning heads across Europe. But until then, celebrate the underdog, respect the beautiful game, and remember, it only takes one night to change everything.